Sorry, I thought it was blue then.
Okay, so here we are back in Jeff's shed. It's now, Jeff, I'm just checking, the 28th of December. Christmas has come and gone. And you were telling me just now, this is your first day back in the workshop after having a bit of a break over Christmas. So not much has happened, although I can see that... Oh, there's a dog barking. He's wondering where I am. Just chewing. Right, okay. So after that brief interruption for the dog...
Need another cat. Tie.
Yes. So you've got both forks in now.
Well, they just slid there out of the way because I just... With it lying down there, I didn't want it getting knocked and bashed, so I just slid it in. It'll do until I can get it all. I've got to set all this up and get it all squared up and set the degrees to 43.
Yes, as you said last time,
Which means, like you said, having to take them off.
Yes, and reduce them slightly.
Redo it.
Okay, okay. So that's the little change there.
Yeah, we've got our little device there.
Oh yes, for protractor.
Setting the angle.
Yes. Okay, and
clamp to the jig.
Yes, and you know what's going on. So
he's coming here again. No.
Oh, he's here. Dog's here again.
No.
Hello, Barney. It's all right. I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here. It's all right.
So this vlog's dedicated to the dog.
Yeah, I'm going to now. He's got his chewy stick outside, so he should be all right. But we'll see. You'll get Woody when I'm not around. Okay, Jeff. Here's a bike I've not seen for a while. This is your Kawasaki Unitrack project, which has now got a different kind of back end. I last saw it on the jig some time ago and it got taken off because your Honda and my bike were on there, and I now see you've got it down.
Dragged it down from loft.
From the loft, from all the bits, and that tank is from a
that's off
XJ, is it?
A Zephyr.
A Zephyr, yes.
750. Yeah.
And it's got the back end ripped off because the original Unitrack system wasn't very good, you said.
It's been, I think the original ones were welded on about here. And
yeah.
Oh, it was all.
And you've made a new, you've made a new mounts for the.
Well, we've made brackets. They've got they want
for a monoshock.
Welding, yeah.
And the monoshocks from what? A Z.
It's off
XR?
ZXR 750.
Yeah, we've seen it before. And the engine is pretty much the same engine as I've got in my project. So you brought it down because you're making not one but two of those.
Going to do an outrigger plate for this,
Yes, in the same way.
Because this bracket, this is probably could be in a slightly different. It's in the ballpark where yours is, but obviously you've got to set them up on both and merit the whole.
You've actually welded that on yourself, so it could be a little bit different. Okay, so what are your plans then for this? I'll tell you what, if you go and grab that white seat unit, I bet it look a lot better on your bike than mine. Farm's way, because otherwise you'll be in the shot. So it's now you actually wanted a Z-butt.
Z-butt, yeah.
650 Z-butt. Z650 style, not this Z. And I actually thought, no, you're wrong, because this is much prettier. Yeah. Hang on, Doug's now turned up again. So it would be something like that, would it not? Around about there?
Yeah, the trouble is with that, you've got to make, it's a really one-off seat base because you've got them, whereas the Z-butts are smooth, aren't they? Designed for.
I mean, you can make that to match. You've got to mount it somehow. So.
Oh, yeah, that could be fitted, but
you see here these.
I don't want a pillion seat.
No. This is not been drilled yet, but that's because it's a slightly cheaper version than the one I had before from Japan. But yeah, you can sort of see that there. I think that works quite well with the Zephyr tank.
It does, yeah.
Anyway. But this might end up being cut in half anyway.
We don't know.
We don't know yet. Doesn't really matter yet because I'm still a long way from even making that choice. It'd be a shame to clean up and ruin it if I don't use it in the end. If I go for an aluminium version instead. But anyway, that's something for the future. And talking about the future, Jeff, it's almost 2020. Just 2 days away, or 2.5 days away.
I know.
And a good chance to talk about what's going to happen in 2020. Yeah. Okay, Jeff, we come indoors, or at least in your conservatory. Dog's outside in the garden, he looks quite happy and quiet. So I'll just take this moment to talk about next year, which is now 2 days away. Now,
is it 2 or 3?
So, plans always go awry, but, what are your plans for 2020 in terms of the projects you've got running at the moment? Now, I'll just go through it quickly. You've got your Honda CB, whatever, twin track bike that you've now rebuilt.
Well, it's awaiting time and money.
Money mainly.
Everything's awaiting time.
So I know you're waiting on some money to weld up or to have the bodywork welded up. But in terms of the engine itself, you've got pretty much everything else. Have you got your pistons now? Have you got your?
I've not got the pistons yet because.
What new ones?
Well, there's a pair. There's some that I could get, but compression's too high.
Right.
Unless you start putting unless you start leaving them
spaces and stuff.
Machining the block to suit. And
okay, so what pistons do you actually need?
I was actually after some concaved ones, dished, a dished piston, which finding forged ones at that size is,
well, we can maybe have a look.
It's very difficult. The Wiseco ones that I've found, funnily enough, I think they're for 8. They do a big bore kit for the XLR 200, is it? You know, the ones that they use in the quad. They do a Honda do an engine, yeah, like a. Is it an XR 200 or an XLR 200?
Because obviously the bike itself is a 400cc or thereabouts. It's not 350 anymore. It's a.
Yeah, but these are singles for like a 2.
But you can get 2.
These are 66mm pistons, yeah.
So, are they concave? Are they low compression?
No, they're actually 10.5 to 1, which they've got a dome on them, or they're built up, which is
not good for you.
Not what I want.
Well, can't you get some kind of pistons designed for a turbo application, or?
There is. I mean, there's only the GPZ ones,
which you've got a box of from.
Yeah, but all the ring glands are worn, which means even if you buy brand new rings, you're running.
Well, can't you buy brand new pistons?
You could do, but you'd probably pay as much for brand new turbo pistons as what you would for if you could find some forged ones.
Okay, but you can't find a forged one, then you're bugging, aren't you?
Well, no, obviously.
So anyway, so you could have a complete bike there, but with no pistons in it, so that's a bit of an issue. So what's your plan for that then? Are you going to just wait until someone turn up, or?
Well, I've got that. I got them billets, didn't I? I was going to make some.
Oh, okay. Make some pistons.
Machine some, which would take a very long time because I could do a lot of the machining, but doing all the fine work inside. It's mainly the outside machining. Easy.
Quite simple. It's
it's the internal machining to get the weight off it.
Yes. And not make it work.
And having everything all smooth.
Okay. Well,
that's going to be the difficult part.
Into that, and we'll look into. But apart from pistons, then, is there anything else that's going to hold up the whole project? Anything else that stops you from completing it? Apart from money, of course. What else do you not have that you need to have?
Nothing really. It's just
pistons.
At this minute, I have the problem, and it's something that I think people will be saying. Out there, or to our one listener.
Yes.
I have I've got too many projects. I've got too many things on the go.
Well, so but you've got money. You take some things, yeah. I know.
By getting involved in too many things, you start making little bits here and there on things, and then suddenly you realise, where the hell's the time gone?
Okay, so next project.
I need to channel my energy into
next project. Yeah. I was disappointed hasn't really gone any further. It's what I call a spares bike. The frame for which is out there going rusty.
I've just wheeled it outside.
Yeah. So
it's when
it was together, when you finished it, and we've got a whole series of videos about building that bike. It's called a spares bike playlist on YouTube on my channel. It sort of came apart, and all it needed really was, I think you were making the seat unit, and you made a plug for that. Looked really nice from the old seat unit.
Yeah, I've got the mould. Sorry, we've got the pattern. We've
to make a mould from
to make a mould, and then to make the actual item.
But that looks really nice. And I thought, it's great. It's looking really good. And that was built, as the name suggests, from all the spare parts left over from the Combike project, and other bits and bobs you had lying around. And I remember when he started it, I wasn't very happy about it, thinking, no, it's going to take forever. He said, no, it'll take 6 months, no more. Won't cost anything because you've got all the bits. And it took about 2 years in the end, as these things often do. But then it looked really good when it was finished. When it was kind of all there on the bench, it looked really nice.
Yeah.
It's quite sort of simple machine. It's not got injected. It's not. It's supercharged. It's got a big SU carbonate. What was it going to run? Methanol, was it?
Just run some methanol. Yeah.
Rather than nitro, a lot cheaper. It just looked really nice. I really liked it. But it's now been taken apart. It's lack of space. It's all the bits are up in the loft somewhere, no doubt.
It actually would be the most convenient thing to build because the crank's done.
Yes, it's all ready to go.
There is a few little. I've got a choice of blocks and pistons I could put on it.
Yes,
head's already done to go on. There's very little that it needs spending. It doesn't need a lot of money spending on it.
And also, it probably won't kill you when you first ride it, like the nitro bike would.
Oh God, no. Well.
And then moving on, we've then got the nitro bike, which I call the comp bike, or you call the comp bike, which has been going for, hang on, here comes the dog.
Here's the dog.
Here he goes, you might see him now, he's having a little sniff around. He's wondering where we've gone. Having a little sniff. He's wondering where, Barney! Barney! He knows where we are, he's having a little move.
Oh dear.
Okay, I'll just go and get him. Barney, come here boy! He thinks I'm outside somewhere, he's missing me. One thing keeps him quiet is food.
Oh, mind your tail there.
Alright, there you go. Yeah, so what's missing for the comp bike? You were doing the exhaust pipes a long time ago, I remember. And it's now got just 2 sections of exhaust there.
Oh, well, I've got that 1 3/4 that I might use.
Yes.
It's got all the bends and...
Okay, but for that project, what's kind of holding things up? I know you're sorting out your front end now, you've changed it about 3 or 4 times.
Right at this minute, what's holding everything up is he's deciding...
Which to work on?
Which to suddenly go full time.
Right now you're doing a bit of both. And also it's like it's expensive things to build. And then, what we've just seen now is the Unitrack project, which again is
another thing that should... Well, I bought stuff for that to get it done and thinking it could be a good thing, but
did you build it for you or did you build it to sell?
I thought it'd sell, but
right.
Unless you chuck thousands at it, and you'll never make money on it.
No. Well, you might do. Well, it depends what you bought it for, obviously, how much you spent on it.
I don't know yet.
I mean, I'm just looking at costs now for rebuilding the engine of that bike, the Z, and it's looking at about £800 just in parts, things like gasket sets, cam chain, just so many little things that I haven't got, inlet manifolds, and then on top of that you've got...
Inlet rubbers?
Yeah, inlet rubbers.
I've got some
rubbers to match the RS cars I'm going to get and so on.
We might have some, so don't go...
No, but there are, you just keep on going.
The Unitrack ones, because the injectors are 34mm, should be big enough.
And things like rectifiers, I haven't got rectifiers, so I don't think you've got one. Anyway, so...
Do you know, there is some bits and bobs in a box, so...
Okay, well we'll have a look.
Let's have a route and see what we've got before we...
Yeah, it's quite expensive thing.
In fact, the stuff off that Unitrack somewhere, but then you need that for... I think I've got the coils and stuff off that Unitrack.
Yeah. Well, in terms of budget, I mean, for my project, that Kawasaki, I thought the budget would be about £5,000 altogether, even though I'd got it for pretty much nothing, and I think it'd be more than that now.
I don't think you can actually put a price on something like that.
You can. I mean, you can, because I've done it before. But I mean, you can do things like I could have bought some cheap shocks for £300, put it on the bike. But I didn't. I spent £900 on some really nice shocks for the bike.
Wow.
And you can do that throughout the bike. I mean, you can get a cheap paint job. That'll be okay, or you can get a really nice paint job, which will cost you twice the money, and so on and so on and so on. Or I can get that fiberglass tank. The fiberglass. What do you want? Seat unit, cut it in half, widen it, done. Or get one made in aluminium for probably, I don't know what, £700 or something.
I think you could be looking...
But we'll see.
It depends on how quick the guy makes it. I mean, if he's got a lot of equipment there...
I think he has. I've seen his website, he's got
the old
tanks and stuff.
English wheels and stuff,
yes.
Curving metal and...
Anyway, that's a separate discussion. But the question I'm going to ask you now is, of those what else have you got? Have you got any more projects hidden away?
No.
Oh, your cafe racer project, you were making some yours.
Oh, that's not even... It's just...
That's a twinkle in your eye.
These are things, you know... What I still think is I'm 18,
yeah, and
you have all the time in the world.
Well, as you know from what happened to me last year, it's not, you don't have all the time in the world.
No.
And that brings me to an interesting consideration for 2020, because in February, I become officially a pensioner. Not a state pensioner, I'm not that old, but a company pensioner. I get the company pension. And that means I'll have a lot more money, thank God, to do things with. Apart from feed you.
You get a cap. You get a cap.
I get a cap, yeah.
And a walking stick.
Yeah, walking stick, cap, old dog. Well, no, you Alright, give me a paw then. Tell me what you want to do. Thank you. There you go. Yeah, so that will mean things can move on a bit further, a lot quicker anyway. So in that vein, my plan is, which will help you as well, is to finish that Z project by June, halfway through the year. Yeah, so the Z won't finish by by the summer basically. There's no reason why it can't be. Got all the main bits. Engine should be rebuilt by your Les, I hope. Frames, still got lots to do with the frame. Got to brace it still. Got to put all the mounts on it. tabs on for things like the splash guard, whatever. So yeah. But in terms of the cost of it, that's not an issue anymore.
It's not. That's not the bit. Yeah.
Well, I've always found if you're throwing money at things tend to go quick.
Oh, yes.
A lot quicker. And although people might not know this, although the Honda's not half mine and the spares bike's not really half mine, the Nitro bike or the Combo is half mine. Yeah. So we could actually do something with that. But I suspect that should be the third of the three. You need to get your Honda done first, or the spares bike done first. Which one would you rather have done?
Right at the minute, I think the
Honda looks pretty cool actually, with that supercharger and so on.
It is, but I've got to sort that out. And
well, one problem you've got is lack of space.
It's lack of space at the minute.
As soon as we get that, so what I want to do this in January is get that Z frame finished as far as it can be, so I can take it home and it's out of your way. Then you got some more space now.
Yeah. I need to clear this out here because as soon as we can get a bit of warmer weather,
spring.
I want to paint this frame here. Give it either. I'll rub it down, and if it looks like it's got any pitting, it won't, mate. I'll give it a good rub down. Get some 150s or 80s on that, and then a nice coat of etch primer. Yeah. It's not got to be an absolute mint condition finish. No, as long as it's tied in, you don't.
So does that now? Are you happy that you've got no extra tabs to add to it, no extra brackets to add to it?
I've done them two there. They're just like say once I've got the room in there, I'll get it on my little. I made a little jig so I can spin it.
Yes. No, I mean since painting it, you're not going to find once you're painting it.
No,
you forgot.
I put them two extra ones on just because of the way the engine plates were, it spreads the stiffness up to the top. I should have thought about that before, but even though the engine plates haven't got the lugs on, I'll have to make two small triangular plates that bolt where the magneto goes off it to stiffen it up.
So anyway,
it was done for the magneto because I thought there's a fair chunk of weight and a snatch on it.
Yeah, so you don't want to be.
So I thought for the extra little bit of weight, I thought for the security of the rigidity, it's better.
Right.
Poor dog. Yeah. So
you're a very fat dog, aren't you, boy? You're a very fat dog.
So I've like I say, I found some paint in the shed.
In the shed.
That I've had for many years.
Is it still okay to paint? Is it?
Well, it's
now illegal. It's toxic now.
Well, this is why you can't use it because it's got more toxic things. Yeah. Better not mention it to the environmentalists, or they'll be around with the banners.
We'll give you one more, Barney. We'll give you one more. We'll give you one of them, and that's it then. You've had quite enough there. Yeah. So again, going back to my first proposition. 2020, of the three bikes, which one would you like to finish? If all the things being equal, which one could you finish?
I think the one
closest
that's going to be the most realistic would be the spares bike.
And that's a good answer because I think that's the correct answer.
It's not that it's all right. I need some fiberglass and stuff for the seat unit, but see the Honda, even to nitromethane and it's going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, well,
because of nitro. I've got to do the piston,
fuel.
The barrel needs
it's not cheap, is it? It's about £150 a gallon.
No, it's not that.
It's getting on for that now.
I don't think it's that much.
It's certainly. I mean, I remember asking who did I ask? Some guy at Santa Pod actually cost to run. He said, "Oh, in fuel." It's like,
yeah, I mean, he's probably using.
He might be using more than a gallon to get down the line. I think he's about
50-60 quid a gallon.
Yeah, so he's using like two gallons to do a quarter mile.
Oh, yeah, you can. Well, the Honda will clear best part of about 3/4.
Yeah. Even my Harley, when I ran it, that was getting like 5 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts. And that's a standard looking bike, you know. Anyway, so with that in mind then, what I think we should do is concentrate on getting my bike chassis finished. Get it out. No. Get
that done, yeah.
Get it out of your way. I can take it home then and play with it and finish it off, whatever. That'll clear some space up. Get your spares bike up again and push on with that.
Well, once I've got that out of the way, I can set it up in there.
Yes, there's some more space. Some more space.
Oh, it'll be okay.
And then Barney and me here can sponsor you. Not sponsor you. That's the wrong word. Be a patron, I think the word is. A patron. Well, we can help you out, can't we, Barney? We can help you out with biscuits and a bit of money, can't we? Yes. Biscuits and money, can't we? Yeah. You happy now, are you? All gone now. Biscuits all gone, lad.
Oh, look, who's that?